All of the AI tools that are out there right now, they're mostly bullshit.
Marketing strategy for the rest of the year. I don't know if we're allowed to mention them here.
Unless our founders or CEO bans it, I can share. But overall, with AI, top of the funnel content is basically dead.
New competitors come out of the woodwork, it feels like every day. And if we play it too safe, we're going to erode away.
Especially with AI now that everybody can vibe code lots of stuff together, marketing is going to be the differentiator. Since we are now hiring, I want to build a really cool killer team. And also, I want to see explosive growth by the end of the year. Ads on Meta.
Waste the money, at least in B2B.
If you're a more mature company, then you should focus on...
Hello, Annika.
Hello, David.
Welcome, I think, to your first episode of Out of Office by Vacation Tracker, because you weren't in the other ones.
Yes, I was behind the scenes pulling the strings little bit.
Yeah, so it'll be nice to have you on, talk a bit more about you, your role at the company, how you got here, because I feel like for some people it might still be a mystery. And just pull back the curtain. That's the whole point of these, let's say, off-the-cuff podcasts. I don't like the word podcast because that's not really what it is. I like to think like fireside chat conversations where we just dive into stuff.
Yeah, and I'm also interested to hear from you, like what's your experience like? What have you done before I came here, and what was the success that you saw? Like what channels worked really well, what didn't work, and we can chat about it all basically.
Perfect. So why don't we get started with a little bit about your background, how you got here, where you came from?
Yeah, I came from Estonia, still here, working remotely. So if anybody watching doesn't know, we are a fully remote team. David is in Montreal, I'm in Tallinn, Estonia. And actually did marketing strategy for a vacation tracker 6-7 years ago. And it was mostly about content marketing. Blog posts were a big thing, and gaining topical authority. And then through that, just coming up in every Google search and growing through that. So basically, that's how I became to know Love and Slobodan, the founders of the company. And now, after that, of course, I was doing a few other jobs. I was working with some startups as a co-founder. Then during COVID, I started doing consulting. And actually last summer, I felt kind of burnt out by consulting work. And Love contacted me about this job. And it was kind of like a perfect storm. Although I thought that employment isn't for me anymore, but I'm actually really enjoying having a really stable team, really flexible schedule, international team, but also really ambitious goals. So that's what brought me here. And I'm also, during the past 2 years, I was doing my own YouTube channel, still doing it a bit less. And I'm really interested in how to use AI in marketing. And here in Vacation Tracker, we are exploring those options as well, as you know.
Shout out to your YouTube channel. Quick plug there if anyone wants to go check it out.
Go check it out.
Yeah. I'm sure it's nice now, to talk to people who are not your clients, because I feel like that's a different relationship and can be a bit stressful at times.
Yeah, at one point, just like with everything in life, we kind of get sick of everything, basically. Yeah. So at one point, it seemed like so refreshing to work with client projects. You could see different companies, different ways of working, different teams. But at one point, you get tired of switching through projects.
Absolutely.
Different target groups and so on. So it actually right now feels really nice to focus on one thing, one target group, and kind of go deeper and in a longer time frame as well. But you have some agency experience as well. Did you also experience this?
Oh yeah, big time. Especially when you want to do all these ideas, and not even necessarily crazy ideas, but just we should do this, but the budget doesn't allow for it, or we're kind of capped for hours, or the client doesn't want to do this, they want to stick to this kind of lane. And it was challenging, discouraging when you have all these ideas, or you lose a client, right? That happens too. And you thought things were going well, kind of weighs on you. But I am a firm believer that if you're in marketing or going to get into marketing, that working on a consultant or agency is a huge experience and very important. If you have the opportunity to do so, even if it's for a short period. I was only there 11 months before I moved on. But those 11 months, I learned a lot. So I highly recommend.
Yeah, I actually agree. Because every company, you kind of learn like some of the stuff they have figured out better than some of the other stuff. And it's really eye-opening. But if you're only working inside one company, you're only used to one way of working.
Yeah. I think even some of the soft skills of like, learning what to like fight for when it comes to, let's say, a certain task or project, and when to step back can be used even inside a company, when to push a bit harder for like something you want, and when to like back up a bit and be like, okay, I'll lose this one, but the next one, hopefully I can get approval.
Mm-hmm. And I like working in Vacation Tracker right now because we can try out new stuff, and with AI, everything has changed. So we have the luxury of kind of like experimenting. But if you're working with clients, they kind of want to get the definite answers. Like they want to have the playbook that's definitely going to work. But I feel like right now we don't really have that playbook, and whoever says they have it, like they're lying probably. So we have the opportunity to try different things, to kind of go crazy. And also right now, like attribution, as you know, so horrible to track it. And basically, if you are working with clients, they want to be so sure where each sign up is coming from, when is it coming, and how much money do I make from this. So I feel like, working in-house right now, it's such a privilege, basically, as a marketer. Yeah,
well, I like to their, like, let's say in defense of those clients, like I understand you want to know where the money's going. And it's a good idea knowing where the money's coming from, so you could put more money into that channel. But now, I think as everyone knows, everything's so fragmented. Forget even trying to track stuff. Like people go on a TikTok, then they come to your website, then they go on LinkedIn, and then eventually they sign up or they book a demo or whatever the conversion is. But they've done so many different things along the path that it's like trying to attribute that. It's like, what gets the weight there? Was it the first video? Was it the last step? Is it some weird algorithm you have? So I think taking a more high level approach, which is kind of like what we do, right? Knowing where kind of like the waves are coming from, where people are getting pushed from, helps a lot. But you can't rely on, Google ads, we know 5K is going to get us 10K worth of clients. That just doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah. And I feel like attribution is something every company just wants to like optimize it to perfection. And I feel like it has gone to the other direction over the past like 5-10 years, because the web traffic, like everybody's using these ad blockers, and like every way attribution has become like more of a headache. And that just means like more people are wanting to get it right. And I feel like it's such a waste of time. I think it's better strategy to kind of accept that it's going to be unknown, basically, and make the most of it. So I feel like in Vacation Tracker, we have solved it in the best way possible. And this is something you guys had in place before I came in. So you're asking customers, where did you find out about Vacation Tracker inside the sign-up flow? And also we added the second step that asks more context. So for example, one option is saw a video. So in the second step, they can say like YouTube, TikTok, where did you see the video, or maybe the video title. Also AI searches, they are actually putting the search queries in there as well. And this is really valuable.
I just wish that they were more descriptive with the video. It's surprising. AI, I guess because they just copy paste the query. But for video, it's always saw a video, second answer, YouTube. Gets me every time. Which YouTube video? Was it an ad?
It's hard to know. But at least since we have been focusing a lot of effort into YouTube, I'm seeing more and more signups coming from YouTube, or at least claiming they came from YouTube, even though we don't know exactly what video it was. Was it even done by us? I'm guessing it is. I don't know that there are that many YouTube channels talking about vacation tracking and mentioning us. But we can maybe talk about our video strategy that we started doing really heavily. But you started with it already last year, right? Or a year before.
Yeah. Little did I know that this would become such a big cornerstone of our strategy. It basically came about because I had some like free time. It was the summer, so it was a bit more quiet, and I was just kind of exploring different marketing ideas. And then I saw, I think it was Calendly, because we tend to compare ourselves a lot to Calendly because they have a similar growth pattern, and like, again, focusing really on doing one thing very well, which is scheduling meetings and everything around it. Same thing for us. It's PTO and everything around it. And they had these tutorial videos. I'm like, I can do these. Like, these are so simple. And it's so true. Like, when I try to use a product, or even if I'm trying to, do renovations at the house, the first thing I do is I search a video for it because I want to see how it's done. So it was like so much sense. Like we should have videos to cover everything in the product. And then it started with that. And then the next thing you know, I'm buying camera equipment, learning lighting techniques. It just felt like it was never ending. And now, like you said, we're head first on everything, including this. Everything's on video, where that's the focus. And it makes so much sense.
But when you were hired, was video even a topic?
No. Yeah.
Yeah, and right now we are hiring somebody who is video first, or like a YouTube channel manager for us. So things have changed quite a lot. But yeah, the video strategy that we have is, like I call it video first, because it's a full content strategy. So we are creating, whenever we need to create some type of content, either as product or just a content that used to be a blog post, we now do it as a video first. We use editors, freelance editors, to get clips from those, to get thumbnails, to get the whole video edited. And then we use AI automations. Shout out to my YouTube channel if you want to see where I got the inspiration. But with those automations, we are repurposing them to blog posts. But I think one really exciting thing that we are doing that I haven't done before is translating the videos with the perfect lip sync. So this is pretty cool. What do you think about that?
It's very like creepy when you see yourself speaking in another language that you don't speak fluently. But I'm curious to see the results of that. Like we've been doing it now for like maybe a little over 2 months. I don't remember when we started there. I feel like at the beginning we were getting a lot of traction, and now it's like I don't know. It's tough to tell the success. Yeah,
it's again like attribution. We can't really tell like who came from whatever language, and like sometimes we can tell if they're using another language, but again we don't know if the videos were to blame or what happened there. But yeah, basically we are using HeyGen, their API, to translate our videos to Spanish and French, and then we have separate YouTube channels for those languages, and we also do blog posts, again repurposed from the video transcripts.
Let's say outside of the language and the sign up form, we don't really know, because they could be from Spain or from France or from wherever and just choose to sign up in English, because I know a lot of countries, like English is the second language, or they know it's the language of business, so they just stick to using English.
Yeah. So this is one of the experiments where we're not even sure like how we're measuring it. When do we decide is it a success or not? But since it is so easy to do, because we already do the work with the original video, I guess we're going to keep going just for a few months and see then what the results are. But it seemed, at first that we got lots of like Spanish signups at first. And also with the video content strategy, it might sound like we're getting lots of signups from YouTube. It's actually manifesting mostly through AI search. And this is something I can't really measure directly, but a lot of the topics that we have done, and we are focused on bottom of the funnel, as you know, the exact topics start to come up in AI searches really quickly after we start publishing those topics. So I have a feeling that AI search really wants to get fresh content. Video content is important, and covering different angles of what you're doing and what you want to be known for, basically. So that has been like the thesis, like how to dominate AI search. And it seems to be working. I think there's way more we could do with this, of course.
Yeah, like anything, but it's tough when you're a two-person squad trying to handle everything.
So before the two of us were left in the marketing team, we actually had Alexandra, who is now on maternity leave. So there were 3 of us doing the video, was really going all in with those. And at one point, I think we did 16 videos in 1 month, just with the 3 of us. And I think that was really like impressive start, and I wasn't really expecting this to go so well. But maybe you can also give some information or like insights. What were the like good lessons that you guys did before I joined? Like I know you had some channels that were really like backfiring, or like what kind of insights do you have? Like what worked, what didn't work?
I mean, definitely what worked at the beginning, I think for like every company out there, was just content, having blogs, even on weekly cadence or weekly post, or trying to do multiple per week. But I think as every company saw, and as you've seen as well, when AI came, an AI overview, and people using AI for searches, that just wiped it out. It just like all that traffic you were getting is getting wiped out. So I think the biggest problem is we didn't pivot quick enough, or take bigger swings. Like some of the bigger swings we took right now with like the free plan, for example. I think we were always kind of like guarded, a little scared, because we like built this very big moat, this business that's successful. Like it's not growing 100% per year, but it's doing well. We don't want to take too much risk to erode our current client, or to cause friction. So I feel like that would have been better to take. And like we talked about it, but it never happened. And I feel like with the shakeup of you coming in, with Martin coming in, the fresh blood, fresh energy, people are like, okay, let's do it, let's try it.
Mm-hmm. But you also tried ads on Meta, LinkedIn.
Oh. Your favorite platform.
Yeah. Let's talk about that as well.
Sure. Meta wastes the money. I think everyone, at least in B2B, I can't speak for B2C because it seems like there is a lot of success there. But B2B, if people are claiming success there, show me the proof. I would love to see it. Yeah. And proper attribution, not like, because again, we got some leads that came in for sure, but they were all garbage leads. These were people that were not converting, not turning into a paid product. LinkedIn, I would say there's some mild success, but the problem with LinkedIn, at least that I've seen, is everything's very slow. So you'll start an ad. After 2 weeks, you won't get much traction, but then maybe after 4 weeks, you might start getting some of the data from that original 2 weeks. And like now you're starting to see success, but it feels like it's not moving quick enough, especially for an ad platform when you compare it to Google or to Meta. Again, I don't know your experiences with those platforms, but that's what I've been seeing.
I feel like it's exactly the same. It's like some type of mirage that, okay, if I just have the budget and I put it into Meta ads and LinkedIn ads, especially LinkedIn ads, which are so expensive, but somehow, like, especially like, we can talk about B2B, maybe in B2C it's different, but you have so high hopes. Everybody says like, oh, they should be working. And then you see like, oh, actually it's not working at all.
Yeah.
So, but I also kind of feel similarly about Google Ads, although there are definitely more actual results coming from Google Ads and more ways to use it. For example, right now we have the strategy of like dominating Google's first page in the AI search, in the ads, and in the organic search as well. So we definitely are visible there and putting some budget there as well. But overall, like, the leads you get from there, they're not even near to the quality of getting organic leads. So, and I've seen like so many marketing teams waste so much time on just like optimizing the Google ads. They're just thinking like, oh, I just have to learn more about how to optimize them and then we will succeed. Like, and then you spend months just optimizing it away and it doesn't happen.
I think people like that channel just because you get, I don't want to say immediate feedback, but like very quick feedback versus when you do an SEO or video strategy, which sometimes can take months to see results or to see what's working, what's not. And pre-AI, maybe there was some validity there. You can take time to optimize, but now it's fragmented. Your ads don't even show half the time if you have Google's AI overview or AI search mode, whatever it's called. So to dedicate a lot of time there, unless you're a very big company, like to me makes no sense.
Yeah, I think they're like, if you're just starting out, you need to validate your idea.
Yeah,
and
that's
there's
fair.
a lot of like search volume there, like it makes sense. But yeah, otherwise, if you're a more mature company, you have plans beyond like 2 years, then you should focus on content strategy for sure. And actually, I was surprised, like my background is mostly in SEO strategies or content strategies that are growing companies, B2B SaaS, mostly through SEO. And usually it took about like 3 to 6 months to see results. And I'm saying 3 because like sometimes like you were so lucky that you got to see some results at 3 months, but usually it's like more like 6 months. And full results is like 2 years in. Like then you can really like see all the work that you've done. But with the video strategy, although we really went all in like really quickly with it, and the volume that we did at first like is pretty impressive. And also you were already doing videos, you had crazy content already on blogs and for years. So it's not really starting from scratch. But still we saw pretty quick results, I would say in 2 months or something like that. And that's why I'm thinking that AI search is quicker and takes fresh content more into account.
I think part of it kind of helps because we're doing the whole domination thing. So if you search, for example, best PTO tracker, you'd have a blog article that's been there for probably 3 years at this point.
Yeah.
Ads, because you're running ads. The video, then you'd have like images or infographics that appear in Google Images. So it's kind of tough to escape us in a sense if you're looking for certain search terms. So it doesn't surprise me that it was so quick. I think we really like kind of like maximized everything. Like we might have just had an article, maybe an image pop up, and now it's like we have 3 images, a video, short form video. It was hard. Like you can't escape that.
Yeah. The foundation was really strong already, and then we added more videos on top of it, basically in a short time.
Yeah. Have you given any thought to marketing strategy maybe over the long term, like for the rest of the year? I know there's some ideas. I don't know if we're allowed to mention them here, but whatever you feel comfortable mentioning, plans wise.
Yeah, I'm an open book. So unless our founders or CEO like bans it, I can share the thoughts I have, because the strategies and plans change all the time. We're always like checking the data, metrics, our focus changes. But in terms of the content strategy, we were really hyper-focused on bottom of the funnel. And I think there's still some things to do there. But I think we're going to switch to more in-depth tutorials. So we're probably getting less volume. It's not so much focused on AI searches that have more volume, like best vacation tracker for, I don't know, remote teams, but more like really specific niche searches where maybe people are looking for how to integrate a vacation tracker with, let's say, Rippling, some other bigger tools, using Zapier, for example, an integration that's coming soon. So then showing a really in-depth tutorial where step-by-step the problem is solved, basically. I think that's the way to go. I think we're going to capture maybe more mature ICP that are maybe bigger companies, less people, but maybe the conversion rates will be way better through those videos and topics.
Yeah,
so that's like kind of my idea. But overall, like I feel like with AI, top of the funnel content is basically dead. It used to be a big thing to do, like topical authority. You cover every top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. But eventually, bottom of the funnel brings the signups. But right now, AI basically steals all of top of the funnel searches. It shows the answer as its own, and there's just no incentive to create that content, basically.
Well, I'd say doubly so in our case, since we've had that content for years at this point. Like I don't know how much more top of the funnel stuff we can touch upon, unless it's a new vertical or new segment.
Yeah. What do you think about short form videos? Can this be used well for B2B?
I think so. The feeds, like the algorithms are so good that like they get you good. Doing research when we were trying to do like a little bit of a, let's say a TikTok or short form content, seeing some of the other B2B players play in that space, like their videos are funny. Their videos are good. I'm just not the ICP. Like we're not looking for software for 500 employees, for example. But I do think there's I think there's way for us to play in that environment, but it takes a lot of experimentation and like a lot of attention away from what you could be doing that could bring in revenue. That's the problem.
Yeah, I definitely agree. There is opportunity there. It's more risky, I would say, with B2B. It's not as obvious, but I think like if you do it correctly, you need to have like a separate person who is so passionate about like figuring out like what works. And I think then the success metrics can't be maybe tied to signups that directly, but it's more by elevating the brand awareness, something like that.
Yeah. That's what I say. Like, I feel like the ones that are the most successful are like the larger companies that probably do have someone dedicated specifically to that. Because it's very creative too. Like people come in there, it's like some of the stuff I've seen for these companies, it's like, wow, this makes no sense. It has no direct tie to what they do, but it gets them views, it gets them attention. Like you said, solidifies the brand in their mind. So when they are shopping, they come to mind right away.
Do you think there are some channels we are not using but should be using right now?
I mean, we kind of use everything. I'm trying to think if there's anything really that we're not using. I would say we use all the mainstays. Like we technically do use email, maybe not very well, but we do use it. We have video, we have content like blog. I mean, we're trying to do our best like with AI stuff as well, even though it's a bit of an unknown for I think all companies. I'd say okay. The only one we could do, but again, I think requires significant effort, would be like LinkedIn, like personal LinkedIn's, where people are like ambassadors, like PR more, I guess, as anything. But again, that takes time. That takes attention. Like when you're a 2-person team, even with 3, I think it's very challenging. And no one has the time for that as much as we want to.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the main thing when I came in as well, I was so sure that you are probably doing too much. And I think I was right. But this is based on my consulting experience as well, where really small teams try to do everything. And you kind of have to figure out like what's working the best, what needs more focus. And then you focus on that thing, even if it's for a month. And then you kind of get back to all the other stuff as well. So I totally agree. We can't do everything. We have to focus. And I'm also like, I'm thinking maybe we could do more with Reddit. But again, like if we had a bigger team, it's not easy because you can't sell anything there. You can't plug your own product. No. So it has to be really useful, really natural. And again, you have to have somebody that's obsessed about that channel and making it work, basically.
Yeah. And you have to be active. Like, even just helping people in stuff that's totally unrelated to your product, to your service, you have to just be active on the platform. Because if people see that all your posts are promoting your product or stealthily promoting your product, then that's how you get banned, or that's how like you get downvoted and no one sees your answers. Yeah. But that to me is more, and this would be interesting to see, but more of like the community building aspect that I know that's in the works. Being active on these platforms, whether it's like Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, Reddit. Building that community, building that place where people can ask questions or you can respond to them. And I would see Reddit being a core component of that for sure. But I just don't know when that's going to take shape internally, what the plan is there. I know there have been a lot of discussions, but I feel like we've been talking about this off and on for like at least 2 years. So we'll see.
Yeah. I also want to ask you, like, what's different in marketing? Like if you're thinking about your day-to-day work 5 years ago and now.
Oh, outside of being in an office, the roles I started out were more traditional, I would say, on the larger side of companies. So everything was very rigid, structural. Mm-hmm. You had your tasks, if you tried to get a little out of the box, then it's a conversation. You have to go through the red tape and then maybe you get approval, maybe you don't. Now it's more freeform, and I think especially more and more post-pandemic, companies hopefully are trusting their employees. So whether you're remote or hybrid, where, okay, like here's your task, get this project by X date. How you get there, up to you, just make sure it's done by that date. And that's kind of like, so I'd say the difference is more just having more ownership of your own schedule. Mm-hmm. Like if you want to start early, start early. You want to finish late, finish late. You want to take an extra 15 minutes for lunch. As long as you get the stuff done, that's kind of like the attitude I've been seeing. What about you, since you've...
I've actually worked only with remote companies, I would say, last over 10 years. So I'm kind of, already before pandemic, I was kind of ruined by the flexibility of working remotely, and I couldn't go back. And it's not only about not like having the flexibility to work from home. I actually prefer going to an office or co-working space. I'm more productive there. But I like that in remote companies, you have to work based on goals. And everybody has to be a self-starter. And I kind of like how remote company basically forces a culture that's really focused. It has to trust people. And that type of culture really invites me in, and I really enjoy it. So that's mostly it. But I would, of course, but I would love if we would also have some type of office where I can go whenever I want to, but also leave whenever I want to, and also maybe not come back for 3 weeks or something like that while still working. So I like the flexibility. But in terms of like what was different 5 years ago, I feel like, in marketing, I was doing lots of SEO strategies. It's not working. Like I've been like saying it for so long now. Like for me, the old SEO is totally dead. I'm not subscribed to any of the SEO tools, SEMrush, Ahrefs, none of them. I feel like this is basically a dead business. I know like they are now trying to pivot to AI visibility, which is, it's not great. I mean, like we basically did an audit on like our main key terms. We just like put them in the AI searches. We checked out what comes up, and basically we then want to be featured there. And then, we're going to do some tasks based on that. But that's basically the most actionable thing you can do. You don't need another tool for that. And also those tools, they don't they're just doing those same searches, but in a bit more volume. So I feel like it's like kind of like a vanity metric. It's not that valuable, and you can do it on your own. And so I'm not using any SEO keywords related tools at all. I'm not checking Google Analytics almost at all. I did it when I joined first, but since the traffic is now dropping because AI search is stealing the traffic, top of the funnel, as we talked about, like there's not much to see there. It's not that accurate. So I feel like the best data that we have is what the users are saying to us, where they found the tool. So that's different. I used to be so focused on all of those tools, keyword research, everything was done by those recommendations. And I feel like now people, like with SEO, why still lots of people want to do it, or it was really concrete because you could mathematically get like, okay, if we get that first position in Google, it's roughly that many searches, we will get roughly that many clicks. We know what the conversion rate is on our website. Yeah. So it was something like a done deal. Like I can measure it really precisely if I can get there. But now with AI search, it's like nobody really knows. Like we are doing a bunch of stuff. It's really ambiguous. And I feel like maybe the future marketers need to be okay with ambiguity. So, and it used to be actually like when I started in SEO almost 15 years ago, it was not a thing to do at all. And it was like the new thing where you couldn't really measure it back then either. So I feel like AI search is now this new thing. And I have a feeling that video is a big part of like adding that trust, especially because it's adding trust to people. As you said, if you're like renovating anything, you look in Google or absolutely. TikTok or whatever. Yes. Yeah. And usually SEO or any type of like a search platform, it goes by what people use. So it's like the algorithm isn't done for the for the computers, it's for people. So so they could sell more advertising to people. So if people are using more video, it makes sense that video will be a bigger signal in those searches. So that's my hot take on AI and what has changed in 5 years.
Yeah, I think SEO peaked when we were still able to use like GA3 or Universal Analytics. Once we made the shift to GA4 and they sunsetted GA3, it was all downhill because they removed so many like useful features, and then like it was all under the guise of like privacy and cookies. But once you had like less accurate data, it just I remember I used to check like Google Analytics religiously, and it was like it was pretty accurate even compared to like I worked with some companies who had like a Shopify site. So you see Shopify Analytics and they track traffic as well. It was pretty close to 1-to-1. And like now, like towards the end when we're shifting over, it was like, the data is so skewed. You're pulling data from everywhere it's unreliable. You can't make decisions on that.
Yeah, the direct data source or unassigned, it's such a big part of the analytics now.
Yeah. I kind of want to jump back into a topic we started talking about because I'm curious to see like how you go about this as like a marketing leader. But obviously like we have someone on maternity leave and we're going to fill the gap there and hire someone to bring the team. What's the thought process there, knowing that, this person most likely will come back after maternity leave? Like, how do you make the decision and weigh between hiring like a contract worker or a part-time worker or even a freelancer versus a full-time position? How do you make that decision?
Great question. In terms of like freelancer versus full-time, like I was actually ready to make the first hire an editor. But then we started using freelance editors first, maybe even like seeing who we can hire in-house at one point. But we realized that actually there are so many good editors, and switching around, like because they have different work commitments or they want to take a vacation, it actually makes more sense to use the freelancers. So that was kind of surprising. I don't know what the rule there is now. Like, but there is something about the content creation where if somebody's job is only doing content creation day after day, they get burned out pretty quickly, especially in a B2B company, because the topics are so repetitive, so corporate, so boring, I guess. So that tends to happen. So I think for some jobs, the content creation wise, it makes sense to outsource. But at the same time, everything that's connected to the product, understanding how the users are relating to the product and using it, it has to be in-house. And I I don't know where the company is and how big our team is when Alexandra comes back, but she has such a good knowledge of the product, the customer base and everything. So I think she will, we will find a really good like focus. But I have a feeling that once she comes back, we have a bigger team and maybe we have the roles a bit better defined. Because when we started working together a few months ago, then all of us were doing everything basically. So now we're starting to do a bit more defined roles, and you are now transitioning into product marketing. And maybe this is a good segue to you explaining what you think about that. And are you excited about it? What do you want to try? What do you want to learn? Overall, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm very excited. I've always had like a passing interest in product marketing. But just never had a chance to really dive in because it wasn't really, at least at the previous companies I've been at, it wasn't really a priority, or things were very delineated between product and marketing. Like we would work together, sure, but the roles were split. So kind of having this hybrid role that balances between two is exciting to me. If you're a believer in the product, like you like using the product, like I like using Vacation Tracker. Not that I use it every day for personal use, but like when I have to record stuff, I like it. It's very fun to use. It's easy to use. It's intuitive. So I'm excited to dive more into that and like, learn how a user experiences. Obviously I'm biased because I've been working here for almost 2 years and I know the product in and out, but if you're a fresh set of eyes, you come in, like what's the friction points you're hitting? What's the problems you're noticing? What could just be better overall? Especially when you think of like those platforms that people really like in like your own use, like whether you use like a Spotify or a Netflix, like the psychology, I think was what interests me the most, like how people kind of navigate stuff. So I'm very excited to dive into that. I know there will be some challenges and some growing pains as we learn to kind of work together in new workflows, because I know it's a new kind of thing for the company as well. But it always having a change of scenery is always nice, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, and I totally agree. Like marketing and product working together. In a lot of companies I worked with, the goals or the KPIs haven't been connected to the product enough. Usually it ends with sign up. And then when product needs some copy, something to be improved, like they ask marketing, but marketing isn't like the incentive isn't to make it like, of course you're going to help, but this isn't your passion to get it like totally right and do lots of experiments. So I totally think that the metrics and the goals that you make your priority for the product marketing are really important. Because that makes sure that your focus is on the right place and you're passionate about improving that.
Well, especially if your company is PLG, like that's how you're getting your leads, that's how you're getting your revenue, that's how you're getting your demos. Like in our case too, that's how we get demos, right? There should be product marketing. Like you said, it doesn't make sense that you just come in when needed. Like they should be, or like I should be fully invested in the product and working along them like as much as possible, because that's what's driving the revenue. That's what's bringing the big bucks. So like it's crazy when companies don't have it. So that's why I'm very excited about it. Hopefully they're excited too. I hope the product team appreciates the shakeup that I'm bringing and the fresh set of eyes and ideas.
And I also think it doesn't make sense to have product marketing too early in a SaaS, because first you just need to get the signups in, and you have to figure out what channels bring them in, and you have to have a good flow of them, and then you can start fixing the bucket basically.
Well, it's like Lab would say, right? Like the first objective is survival, right? Like you need to bring in revenue, like you do whatever you can, but then at a certain point things stabilize and you can look more at like growth and taking the next step, whatever that looks like. I know there's been a lot of discussion about, changing verticals or, trying to go further deeper into the current vertical, or, just breaking the mold of what's out there with some of the stuff we have in development. And like that stuff you do when you're a more mature company. Like early on, it makes total sense. You're not going to have product marketing. You might not even have a marketer. Some companies they have a person that kind of does it all, sales, marketing, support. So it makes sense.
Yeah, that's another thing I saw when doing consulting, like how differently the companies have built their teams. And sometimes it's like a company doing 10 million in revenue and they have 0 marketing people. And sometimes it's, pre-revenue company, they have 20 marketing people, or it's so all over the place. Companies get to their success in different ways. But for B2B SaaS, I believe definitely that there needs to be a strong marketing team, especially with AI now that everybody can vibe code lots of stuff together. I think marketing is going to be the differentiator.
Yeah. Or if you have a really, really strong sales motion, Like I know some companies, like they're sales lit, so obviously that's their bread and butter. But you have to have like perfect messaging, cold email, if you use cold email or cold calling, like it has to be perfect. Like, and that's very hard to do. And like you said, in today's world, like people don't even want to receive calls, they want to do their own research. So I applaud those companies that stick to that and can make it work.
What do you think is the biggest risk, or where can we mess up as a marketing team to really mess up Vacation Tracker's growth in the coming years?
Probably by playing it too safe, I would say, if we're talking about growth, because we'll probably just like stagnate. I think the problem too, and I don't know if you've noticed this, maybe more and more as you get more familiar with like our competitors, but new ones come out of the woodwork. It feels like every day. At one point I started tracking, then I stopped because it's like this list is going to be like 1,000 companies at some point, whether it's direct or indirect. Like there's some companies that do the exact same thing as us. Some companies have a module that kind of covers the bases. Like you said, now with vibe coding, I feel like there's like these new websites that pop up trying to eat into our market share. And if we play it too safe, like we're going to erode away. That's my take. Like forget even growing. Like we might just lose companies out because we're not addressing their needs.
So this is more for the product side.
I would say even marketing. Like I know video it seems kind of safe, but like I think that was a big risk to go video first. Like
because it's lots of resources, time, all of our focus when it went there. Yeah,
and as you saw with some of the feedback of people who don't want to be on camera, just having people who are willing to be on camera is a huge asset. That was one of the biggest shockers to me, is like for myself and for others, like when you start recording, it's like, wow, this is like a lot more daunting than I thought it was. And then sure enough, people are like, I don't want to be on camera. I'm like, okay, wow. So this is a big blocker for companies.
It definitely is. I remember I knew that video is a channel I need to focus on maybe 10 years ago already. Yeah. But it took me like, I don't know, 8 more years before I did my first YouTube video. So it's definitely on a personal level, it's so difficult to get in front of the camera. But once you start doing it, you get used to it. And I'm kind of glad that it is so difficult. It kind of gives us the moat that we need, and maybe the competitors are not as comfortable doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I think also they don't want to commit because it's a process. Like I think right now, the focus is not on getting views or like, having people convert from YouTube anyway. So it kind of makes it easier. So if a video comes out, we get 10 views, we don't care because the hope is that Google or ChatGPT or some AI tool pick it up. But the companies that do dive in, like with podcasting, for example, like you have to stick at it for such a long time to find your audience, to find like kind of your voice and your tone, and like and you have to be willing to pivot. At a previous company I was at, that we started with podcasting, and I feel like we gave up a little bit too soon because they
How
felt
long did you do it?
Well, they did it for about a year before I started, and then I came in, and I think we continued almost for another full year, so it was almost 2 years. But the problem I noticed as well is that like they weren't smart about it. Like the podcast they were trying to do in 2 languages, so they did like some in English and then some in French because we are based in Quebec. So that takes a lot of energy, a lot of time. And then that was also guiding like the rest of their strategy. Like their SEO strategy was like, okay, our articles are just going to be podcast articles. I'm like, that's not really SEO at that point. Like you should really try to delineate or do the research first and then find someone that complements, the topic you're talking about, and then make that into video. And again, and it was the same structure I noticed as well. But I think if they would have kept that, they're, like bigger and bigger, maybe they would have gone bigger. But it was very niche. I think that was also the problem too.
And also podcasting, I think it's the easiest, laziest way to create video content. That's why we're here. But you have to, like, it's super saturated already. So what's the strategy behind it? Like, we can be open about our strategy here. We want future hires to know who we are, how we do things. So we don't care if we get 10,000 views on this. 10 views from really good marketers who want to work with us in the future, that's already enough. But if your whole like content strategy is podcasting, then you're not generating signups with this. So you have to know like what are you doing? What's the purpose behind it?
Yeah, but that company was riddled with, let's say, other problems. I don't think they had the right like product market fit even. So I think the podcasting was the least of the concerns there. But again, it's about committing and then taking risks and shifting.
Yeah, I agree. Also, one of the things I wanted to mention, like based on something you said here, one of the things that when I joined Vacation Tracker and I did the onboarding, I got the product demos and everything, I was so relieved to see like the product works. It has such a low churn, because with consulting work, as a marketer, it's the worst thing where the product doesn't have product market fit and they expect you as a marketer to fix all of those problems.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's such a headache. So I was really relieved that the product is really good. Churn is super low, and there is natural search volume. So it kind of like fit all of my skills like perfectly. But yeah, as a marketer, like having a really bad boss is really, really bad as well. But having a bad product, I think, is the worst.
Yeah. I say bad product. It's good luck making sales or leads or pipeline, whatever your metric is. At like the last company, I don't want to harp on them too much, but like the revenue generating tactic was going through the Rolodex, essentially people contacting that they knew, warm introductions. But then once the Rolodex ended, you had no more contacts. Money started to dry up. Things got difficult there. So definitely, not having the fit makes it challenging. I was going to say that the first thing I looked for when like I heard a Vacation Tracker and like Lab approached me was the pricing page, because that's like a big pet peeve of mine is when companies are not transparent. Reach out for pricing or reach out. Like I kind of get it to a certain extent when you're these large enterprise softwares, but like even then give a range, because like a lot of times people when they go on calls, that's what they want, is they need to know the price. That's the first thing they want to know. I know they want to shoot themselves in the foot, but I thought we're past the point of having to contact sales for pricing, but clearly not.
I was just thinking, like, one of my things that I'm always checking is footer. And I've actually like said it in our Slack channel as well. I usually, maybe it's because of the vibe coding you can do like so easily now, but it feels like if the footer doesn't have all of these corporate links down there, like maybe you just vibe coded this tool and maybe I don't trust it.
Fair, yeah.
But of course it's not correct, because Vacation Tracker is an established tool, thousands of users, and our website footer is really simple.
Yeah. Is there anything, like, since you've been in marketing for a while, and I've noticed this in myself, you know the expression, like, you know the ingredients, like, you know, like in marketing, like now you notice all these things in the back end that like as a consumer, let's say you never would have picked up on. Like a good example is we spend so much time on like the psychology or like the SOC 2 and stuff like that, or even like, let's say reviews, I think is a better example. Or like now knowing on the back end that like people could just buy reviews, so like it doesn't really matter. Like that was something that was like eye-opening to me when I first started, or like let's say it was into my career. I was like, wow, like I used to use reviews religiously for shopping, and now it's like not a consideration at all.
This has also changed so much with AI. Like I don't trust anything. But I remember when early on in my SaaS marketing journey, we used to, it seemed like case studies are really, really important.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. And then you had to do, like, you had to set the calls with the clients. They ignored you. Then, like, to get one case study done, then you had to go back and forth, like, oh, are we okay with what you're saying there? And then it could take like months to get the case study up. And then nobody cared. Like nobody read those. Yeah.
I wonder if it's just our inherent bias of being in marketing, but I really do wonder, like reviews, I still know people still check them. So I feel like it's a necessary evil, but case studies, like how many companies were convinced because you sent them like, oh yeah, this is a company in a similar industry and they deployed us in this fashion. How much that really like greases the wheels or gets them like, yeah, you're right, I should buy Vacation Tracker.
Yeah, I agree. Like the reviews work, especially like I really like how some like online courses are doing it, where they give you the wall of reviews. Basically, there are videos, there are tweets, there's everything. There's actually a really good tool, testimonial.to. I've used it on my own sites as well, where you can use a script that automatically adds new reviews basically on your site. And you can use, different things. Somebody wrote a public Facebook post, somebody did a short video about you. And I kind of like where it's overwhelming. You're just scrolling away and it's like so many, overwhelmingly lots of your reviews. But it works for online courses where it's like you need lots of convincing. But maybe
Yeah.
it's something we could do in B2B SaaS as well.
I think there's certainly something to be done there. I don't know what it is in like software, but I think that's like an area that's, I think, stagnant across B2B, where everyone just does the classic, here's your G2 or here's your Capterra, here's a testimonial, here's the stars. Or like the badges is another good one too.
I think we just got ourselves like a new thing to try this year, because I actually started thinking like the last year and a half that I was doing my YouTube channel more actively. I also have a private community where I share like the blueprints and everything. And I just was seeing lots of like these freelancers, course creators, how they were marketing themselves and how like solo entrepreneurs can do so much with different tools, and where in B2B SaaS, you are so much slower, or in any company doing marketing.
Right.
And I kind of get it why you have to be like, compliance things. You have to be aligned with everybody, just like making changes takes time. But actually, there are so many great tools. For example, the same like testimonial.to, where it's just a script. You can start gathering the reviews right away. You can already add some of the stuff that's already public there. And it could take like 20 minutes to get it up, basically. But if we start doing it as a project in a marketing team, I'm sure it's going to take at least a few weeks to see it on our website.
Yeah. Well, the website's pretty quick, I would say. But if you want to put it anywhere else, that'll take a bit more time, I would imagine. I also I think that's going to be a bit more like work with the support team as well, because we would want them to also address the reviews or to, to reach out to them. I mean, like we talked about even like video first, but getting video reviews would be cool. I don't know where we put that on the site or in the app or whatever, but somewhere would be good. Like
all of the AI tools that are out there right now, like we know that they're mostly bullshit. Like in terms of like the outputs, you get like 80% there, but not to the 100 that you need. But I still kind of want to see like how we can innovate, how we can be quicker, what we can outsource to AI. So I'm hoping that we let go of the typical B2B SaaS stuff, that like, for example, the reviews, case studies, like how it's done, and maybe we can take more from the solo entrepreneurs and indie hackers and those quicker moving entrepreneurs, basically.
What's your biggest like wish or biggest want for this year, for 2026, in marketing specifically? What do you want to see happen, or what do you want to try doing? Budget's no concern. There's no limits to this.
I think at this point, since we are now hiring and it's only 2 of us right now, I want to build a really, really cool killer team that enjoys each other, helps each other, and also I want to see explosive growth by the end of the year.
Explosive growth, okay.
Yeah. I would love to see a hockey stick. That's if you're asking about hopes and dreams.
Yeah, why not? That's the point, right?
But mostly, I think it's only done through the team. So we need more people to help us. Of course, already 2 of us with AI, we can do a lot. But I think killer team to get this right would be the main thing for this year.
That makes sense. I think also in conjunction with that, like hiring the person hopefully quicker than 6 months or whatever it takes to find, like be good to have them within a month or 2 would be lovely.
So yeah, if anybody's watching this in January, we are hiring for a content marketer who is mostly doing YouTube videos and then repurposing them. But also I think we're going to do another hiring round somewhere in the spring. Role is to be determined. Yeah, this was actually budgeted. This was before Alexandra went for maternity leave. So basically, we were supposed to be a 4-person team this year anyway. So we have room for more hires. So if anybody is really eager to work with us, you can get in touch, basically.
Do you have an idea of like what the profile is for that role, or not yet?
Not yet. I feel like we have figured out so much stuff already and things have changed. Like you are now going into product marketing. We are looking for a designated YouTube channel manager. And who knows what the next role is where we need more help. Maybe it is a TikTok first marketer, or maybe we just need somebody who is like more focused on performance marketing, although as we just spoke, we're not the big believers in that. So maybe just like general growth marketing specialists will figure it out when we're there, basically.
Well, I think
but do you have any ideas yourself?
For the team?
Yeah.
I think it's going to really depend on how this person we hire now kind of gels into the team. I think also like the focus will be content, but I think they'll still be helping out with other stuff to help groom the profile that we want, or help choose the profile that we want for the next person. I feel like it's always good to have a Swiss Army knife type person. That's why I feel like I'm like that. Maybe I'm decent at video, but I always felt like my profile is very multi-purpose. But at a certain point, we can't have too many of those. Like I would consider Alexandra like that as well. You would like that as well. So I feel like we kind of need more specialist kind of people.
Yeah. And I kind of prefer to have a team where everybody has a specific KPI that they are focused on. Mm-hmm. So in that sense, even if we have more generalists in terms of marketing, I want everybody to be focused on one specific step of the funnel, or one specific channel, one specific metric to improve there. I feel like, as I said, like in remote company, that's the best way to kind of organize work and not micromanage and babysit each person. And that's how you get the results as well.
Yeah.
Focus is the main thing.
We'll see, I guess, is the message that we're leaving here. Well, thank you, Annika, for joining me. I think there's a lot of value here that people can kind of see, peel back the curtain. Maybe the next iteration is one with you and someone else, or myself with someone else, and just kind of showing how we work together. Again, I think it's going to be troublesome to get someone on camera, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, and if whoever is watching is more interested in the exact workflows or how we approach like the video first thing or the translations, we can also do a video about that. Thank you for listening. Hey.